Hey everybody, AdamHarry from BoLS back again with another quick unboxing. We've got a trio of goodies to show off today. We've got the Chaotic Beasts. Hooah! We've got the Chimera, or Chimera. I've heard it pronounced about a dozen different ways over my life. But we're going to go with Chimera today. Chimera. Sorry if that's not how you say it. And then finally, we've got the Monsters and Mercenaries book, which we will go over here. This is a really cool book. It's got some neat kind of expansion content for Warcry. We will go a little bit more detailed with that one, but for now, let's go ahead and take a look at the miniatures. Alright, first up, this big beastie. This is actually not a new kit. I don't know if you guys knew that going in here, but this is actually an older monster kit from Warhammer, actually a little bit back in Warhammer Fantasy. It used to come with a couple of different versions here. For example, the Chaos Lord on a Manicore, it's essentially the same body. But we'll get into that. First off, here are the rules. Here we go. You get the card. This bad boy's 360 points, excuse me. He's kind of a beat stick. 50 wounds. 50. I just said that out loud and it made me giggle. But yeah, big old beastie. There you go, the different abilities, which I'm not going to go over in detail here. You can read those on the screen. But you get them in all the different languages, too. So, and then, of course, if you needed to know what the model was, you know, there's only one in the box. Here's the instructions, which, again, not going to go over in full detail. But this is essentially the same as the Manticore kit with a different tail and 3 heads instead of 2, or instead of one head. But yeah, I'm actually curious about the box, the sprue in the box, which is right here. It is a single sprue, as you can see. And we got the big old base, which is stuck to the bottom. There you go. It's got a little dust on it. Ooh. Must be an old sprue. Anyway, here's the sprue. And again, this kit is not super new. It is essentially the same kit. There's a couple different versions of the Manticore kit. This one is the way that you build the Chimera kit. But yeah, you can see the wings are slightly different than the Manticore wings. The tail doesn't have the barb on it. It's got like a little face, little dragon head on there. So does that make it 4-headed? I don't know. But yeah, it's got 3 different heads. Pretty cool. Pretty gnarly beast. And yeah, it's a big old model that you can now use in Warcry. So, on to the Chaotic Beasts. The Chaotic Beasts. Now, these were the same beasties that you would find in the Warcry starter box. So, shouldn't be a whole lot of difference here. But if you didn't buy the starter box, or if you just wanted to have some Chaos Beasties to your collection or your army, if you're playing Age of Sigmar, well, now you can. So, independent, I mean, it is kind of nice because you do get the Furies, the Chaos Furies. Anyway, yeah, everybody likes new Fury models. There's the instructions, full color, no shock there. Cards, what you need. I'll bust these out real quick and you can see them. We've got, little plastic slide on there. Boom, Furies. Boom, other things, which I forgot the name of. They're kind of boring, but they're the Raptorix. Raptorix? They're not that boring, actually. In Warcry, they're kind of mean. Anyway, I just don't care for the models as much. I'm sorry. I like the Furies way better. More excited about those. Here's the universal abilities for these bad boys, and then their specific abilities. Again, you get it in multiple languages, so whatever you're playing, whatever language you're playing in, there you go. Bases. Gotta have bases. There's the 2 sets of sprues here, essentially. So they're kind of all intermixed here. There's Furies. These are Raptorix, as you can see. These are essentially two different sets of the same sprue. So one sprue set, the other sprue set right here. We'll go over these more in detail. And then all of the bases that belong to the Raptorix. Anyway, here's the Furies. Again, 2 of the same sprue. We'll just focus on the one. But yeah, it's a pretty neat little sprue. I like these models. This will actually let you build up to 6 Furies total with between the 2 sprues. And actually, side note, yeah, front and back of the sprue. Here's the Raptorix sprue. There is a hidden Fury. You can see the wings right here for the third Fury. So that's why they sell them as a combo kit. It's they don't have to chop up a bunch of different sprues that way. So there you have it. Again, there's 2 copies of this sprue, 2 copies of the sprue in the box. Let's get to the good stuff and check out Monsters and Mercenaries. Monsters and Mercs time. So this is the Savage Beasts and Deadly Heroes Clash in Monsters and Mercenaries. This is like I said earlier, expansion to Warcry. It adds a ton of models that you can add to your warband. But the twist is that you can't just buy them with points. Oh no, you got to buy them with pain. We'll get into this here shortly. Here's the table of contents, and it's kind of weird because it's printed on the inside here. You can see Savage Might goes over the I don't even know. We get to see Savage Might Beast. What is we got? Rune marks. So they got specific rune marks in there. Fated quests, challenge battles. Ooh, so Lair of the Trifold Beast. That's probably the Chimera. Colossal Carnage. Skeller in the Dark. Menagerie of Horrors. Trial of Serpents. Into the Jaws of Death. Whoa. Hand of the Everchosen. That sounds bad. Thralls and Monsters. A bunch of different monsters you can add. See a Charybdis in there. A Terrorgeist. Zombie Dragon. Wow. Allies that you can add to your respective warbands. Yeah, it goes all the way from Slaves of Darkness through the Gloomspite Gits. So, and yeah, extra warband roster. So Savage Might is just kind of the story. Whoa, really cool artwork. Didn't know that was going to be in here. I'm gonna skip around a little bit. Death for Hire. So these are some of the characters that you can run into, mercenaries you can hire. Bestial Glory. These are just, looks like an art section here. You can get crazy with that. Moving on from there, we've got Fated Quests. The section contains 4 campaign quests that can be embarked upon. Warbands of any faction. Cool. Challenge battles. New type of campaign battle where your warband is thrust into a deadly encounter they must overcome in order to reap the spoils. There are 7 of those. Thralls and Monsters, new fighters, ability cards, 3 new chaotic beasts, thralls, and 8 monsters. Sweet. Along with rules for using them. Allies and warband roster. There's new rune marks. There's a couple different missions there, which we're not going to spoiler. Those are the good things. Challenge battle. So this is one of the new campaign things. You have to agree with both players. Have to agree to play this one. In a challenge battle, one player is referred to as the challenger, and they are attempting to overcome the challenge that's been set. This player's warband is referred to as the challenger. Then you have the adversary warband, obviously. They have different setup sections. The adversary player will have a unique pool of fighters to choose from in each challenge battle. This may be a single large monster or a group of fighters using fighter cards from existing factions. In either case, the fighters the adversary player controls are never drawn from their warband roster, even if the same fighter card is used. So basically, if you're agreeing to play a challenge match and you're the adversary, you're playing a completely different warband with their own cards. You don't have any destiny levels, artifacts, or command traits, or anything fancy like that, but you get to use some crazy monsters, like the Gorgon there, in your fight, which is cool. Yeah, the spoils. Each challenge battle has 1 or more spoils. If the challenger warband wins the challenge battle, they receive 1 spoil that the challenger challenge battle. There are more than 1 spoils available. That's a weird phrasing. The player must pick which to receive. Lets you add, some of them add monster adversaries to your warband roster. Nice. So, yeah, it just changes up the game a little bit there. That seems pretty cool. So, a couple of things here. There's the different, obviously the different, the missions that you're going to be fighting. They all have their own special rules set up, battle plan, etc., which is sweet. Yeah, in the setup, the adversary, and they've got their page listed, so some of these are on different pages. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you get the idea. This is pretty sweet, though. The Hand of the Everchosen. I saw this earlier, but they are the Varangard's retinue. So you're fighting against the Hand of the Everchosen. So you've got the big Varangard That's the dude, one of the 3 Variant Guard riders on their mount. I was gonna say horse, but it's totally not a horse. It's like a demon mount. And then you've got a couple of different Chaos Chosen options, like obviously the Chaos Chosen champions and stuff like that can be in this warband. So, and then you fight this specific special battle plan and all that fun stuff. Getting in there, monsters and thralls. Again, these are just more monsters that you can fight and dominate and recruit to your warband, which is kind of cool. It's interesting how they did that. So, moving on from there. We're going to get into, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit further, into some of the allies. So if you are playing, for example here, Nighthaunt. If you're playing Nighthaunt, you can add these different units in there. They have a different cost of points. And yeah, I think there's, let me back up just a touch here. Slaves Darkness. Yes, there are allies and stuff like that, and there are rules for including them in your warband, and they have their own faction marks and all that fun stuff too. So, how do you add them? In open match play, you can include 1 ally in your warband. The ally costs points just like any other fighter, but in war for the purpose of the rule that requires all fighters of the warband to share the same faction rune mark. So, but yeah, there's some extra rules in there too for including them. But yeah, that's basically what this book breaks down into. It's extra missions, extra challenges, cool new monsters to recruit, to dominate, add to your warband roster. A bunch of new allies you can add. It's pretty much for every faction in Age of Sigmar. If you're playing one of those other warbands, you can totally run with this book. And yeah, Stormcasts through Gloomspire Gits, Nighthaunt, Legion of the Gash, everything in between. So anything that's already in Warcry that has the decks that you can use, boom, you got allies now too. Well, folks, there you have it. There's all the Warcry goodies that are up for pre-order from Games Workshop right now. They may be available by the time you watch this video. I don't know when you're watching this thing. Anyway, that's the Monsters and Mercenaries book, as well as the Chaotic Beasts and the Chimera for you there, folks. Out now. I'm AdamHarry from BoLS. Thanks for watching. Click to subscribe. Check out more videos. And thanks for watching.